Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sow and Tare Live. We do this every Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And I'm glad to see everybody. It looks like a whole bunch of people are here starting to talk to each other, which is great. If you're new, if you're here, if you've been here before, welcome. If you're new, how I usually do this is I go through the comments, and then somewhere in the middle, we have a really interesting topic today, which some of you already know about. We're going to wait a little bit. And then I continue with the comments. So if you have a question or a comment, or you want to talk about something homestead related, cooking related, canning, whatever, then we'll talk about it. And we'll go from there. So please keep all your comments family friendly. And I got to scroll up to the top because you guys were here way before I was. All right. If you are on, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell where you're from and get started. Hey, Joy's here. Joy says, hi all from Western Oregon, checking in a bit early. Awesome. Hi, Joy. I hope you're doing well. And I know you're in a little bit warmer area than where my parents are, but my dad sent me a picture on my phone of what the temperature was this morning at 1 degree Fahrenheit, and so I told him he was number one. So hopefully you don't have a whole lot of cold as well. Ed, hey, Ed's here. Ed got bait. Welcome. Oh well, I'm second. You gotta come here earlier to beat Joy. Welcome. Aaron's here. Good evening, everyone watching from South Louisiana. Awesome. Welcome, Aaron. Dawn's here. Welcome, Dawn. Good evening, y'all, from South Central Illinois. Andy Rabbit, welcome. Says hello. I think you're waving, so I'll wave back. Hey, Vase Place. Vase Place is Verna. She is my moderator. She's in blue, and she catches the bad guys before we even see them. So she is awesome. She has a live of her own on Saturday mornings and another one on Wednesday at lunchtime. So go ahead and check her out at Vase Place. She says, good evening, Katrina, Joy, Ed, Aaron, and Andy. That's everybody who was there before. Good evening. Saying hi. Okay, Vase Place is talking about her pups. The pups that she's talking about are KV, which is also guinea pigs. The younger pups are bigger than the week-old ones. Yeah, that's amazing. When you showed how their size difference, I mean, it really, really goes to show you got to pick the moms or the parents right. It's really an amazing difference in sizes there. Yeah. Base Place says, Katrina, waiting to see what that egg weighs and what's inside of it. We're going to wait. I know usually I talk about the topic of the day whenever it comes up, but we're going to wait a little bit, see if we can get a few more people on here before we go for it. But yeah, I saved it for you guys. Don't you feel special? We're gonna find out all together. Hey, Gidros is here. Hello. Hey, y'all. You said y'all this time because I said y'all last time. Welcome, Kristen. Truck 3 Warden's here. Welcome. Hello, all from North Central Wisconsin. 10 below this morning. No, thank you. I think we're supposed to get to 29 last night. I don't know what actually went down to. It did freeze. But our freezes are very, very brief. And I mean, once the sun hits on it, things warm up. So like the water system I have going through 1/4 inch tubing in between the long runs. And if it freezes, it thaws super quickly and it's fine. I've never had any issues with it. So that's for my area. If you have an area that does the freezing a little bit longer, you probably want a different system. Yeah. Everybody's saying hi. Andy Rabbit says, is it still raining out there, Katrina? It rained on Sunday. We got a whole lot less than what they projected. We got 0.01 of an inch. That is 1/10 of an inch. So no, I think it's supposed to rain later in the week, but I don't know like what the chances are. I haven't looked it up today at all. but yeah, those atmospheric rivers definitely came through strong, and I'm glad that we had it, but we do need more rain. I think the systems have subsided. The creek that I was showing you guys, Uvis Creek at Silva's Crossing, I should go there in the daylight and show you guys what it looks like now. It's flowing quite well, but it's like Uvis Reservoir, which is upstream, is full still, is really full, but it's still spilling. And so that is kind of a regular high flow right now. So I should show you guys that. Yeah. Everybody's saying hi. Andy Rabbit says, I'm glad Dawn reminded me today was not Sunday. Guys, I took the day off, so I'm glad I remembered. I took the day off work, so yeah, I'm there with you, Andy Rabbit. Faceplace says, we got freezing drizzle and snow earlier a couple hours ago. The freezing drizzle, hopefully it was just a drizzle and it goes away, because I've been in ice storms and that's not fun. Or I don't know, ice storm, the one where it's liquid and it just like does layer upon layer upon layer of ice. One time we were in Tigard, Oregon, by Portland or Salem, or anyway, over in the valley somewhere, and they had an ice storm like that. And I remember there was supposed to do a volleyball tournament, and we'd driven over the mountain to do this volleyball tournament, and then this storm hit, and we ended up, it got canceled. And I remember we were at the motel and we had to get out, or else it was like we were going to be stuck in this big storm. And I remember there was ice on the van, and so we had to pour hot water to get in. So probably would a better idea just stay there. But as soon as we drove out of the parking lot, the transformer blew that attached the power to the hotel. So maybe it's a good thing that we left. We got there safely, so that's good. So stay safe. Stay inside. Truck 3 Warden says, have you ever used the whip and tongue method for grafting? Yes, I have. Whip and tongue method. I don't have a stick. I have a peacock feather. How about that? We can do this. Props. So if you did whip and tongue, you would cut an angle like that, and then cut another one straight down. So your first cut would be at an angle, and then your second cut, let's say that this is the branch that you want to keep. So first cut is this way, and second cut is straight down. So it's just a little notch. It's not even a notch, it's a slit. And then you do the same for the scion that you're attaching, and wrap it all up, and you're good to go. It's good to wrap it in. It's good to wrap it in like a buddy tape or parafilm, something like that they can grow through after. But if you wrap in, you can use freezer tape to do that union, and then so that it's more sturdy, and then you can wrap the rest in that other stuff. There's lots of different things you can wrap it in. I've seen people use rubber bands to tie the graft shut. But yeah, the whip and tongue method for grafting is a very secure method, and it ends up looking good. So like it ends up looking very smooth when you do it. So yes, I've done that. This coming Sunday, if people are in the Santa Cruz area, the Santa Cruz Grange, I don't remember what time. It's on the stuff I did for last week or week before we can review. And it's on that list for the California rare fruit growers. They are doing an apple grafting. So you pay for the rootstock, and then you can pick whatever scion you want, and you can have an apple tree that's specially made, specially built and by you. And it teaches you how to do that. And I think we're going to use the cleft graft for that. It's easier. It's pretty quick. And that is basically where here's a stick. You split it this way. It has a little opening, and then your scion wood, you actually cut one side, cut the other side, so it's a V. And so you have a V going into a V, and it, as long as the cambium matches up, you're good. But if anybody is in the Santa Cruz area, that's happening on Sunday, the 5th. Good question. Andy Rabbit says, I did too, Verna. What did you do? Oh, you got freezing drizzle? Uh-oh. Verna says, Little Rock, Arkansas used to get more freezing rain than snow, and that is about 40 years ago. Wow. Hey, Kelly's here. Feather Connections Homestead. Hey. Oh, hey. Here I am, she says. There you are. Welcome. Diana Title Top Farms here. Welcome. Hey, all, she says. And people saying hi to Kelly and Diana. Awesome. So I know you guys want to find out what's in this egg, but we're going to wait just a little longer. So we had grafting come up. We had weather come up. You guys have any topics you want to go over right now? Going on right now. I had a friend over today. Wait, what egg? Kelly, you have not watched my video for today. You'll find out. Stay on. Yep, make them wait till the half-hour mark. That's what I'm doing, because a lot of people join partway through. So I figure I want to get that going. So yeah, a friend came over today, and I taught her how to process quail. So she was excited about that. She took them home. I told her put it in ice water, do that. And so she's excited to do that. She had done ducks before, but hadn't done quail, and they're a little bit different, but it's good stuff. Yeah. Hey, Yusuf's here. Hello. I just reconned this. Is your channel. Oh, you just recognize this is your channel? It is my channel. Welcome, Yusuf. Thanks you for joining. I hope you're doing well. Everybody's saying hi to Yusuf. Kelly says, that's awesome. I love teaching people to process quail. Yes, it is really awesome. And she's, like I said, she's processed stuff before. She wasn't squeamish or anything. So that was really nice to have that kind of conversation, because if someone is really not sure about things, then that is, it can be a little more challenging. But no, she did great. I did the deed, and then we processed side by side, and she did great. So yeah. And she cut open the gizzard, because she eats the gizzards of things, and I have not done that yet. And she showed me how to do that. So I'm going to be doing that next time. Maybe. I'll try it. She says it's really good. Who here eats the gizzards and hearts? I've been giving everything to the chickens, all the guts and stuff to the chickens, and so they've been enjoying that. We only did 2 today, but they sure did eat it up. Yeah. Andy Rabbit, did you weigh the egg? No, we're waiting until 6:30 to weigh the egg. I'm going to show you. We're going to weigh it, and we're going to open it. I waited for you guys. Yusuf says, I'm doing well. How are you? Doing really great. We're not getting a whole bunch of rain anymore, which is great. We are getting some sunshine, and then I think we're getting rain later in the week. That's pretty much what things have been measured by this year so far, is when is it raining? Yeah. And Base Place put the link to Yusuf's new Facebook group. I forget the name of it. It is something about poultry, and Yusuf, tell us the name. It's Poultry on a Budget, something like that. Yeah. Andy Rabbit says, I like the gizzards. Aaron says, I love gizzards and hearts. Vase Place says, I love them, but Lucy usually gets them. And Gidra says, gizzards are delicious fried. So do you deep fry them, or do you fry them on the frying pan? Yeah. Yusuf says, thanks for the shout out. No, you're awesome. We'll give you shout out. Shout outs? Shouts out or shout outs? There we go. Feather Connection says, is the gizzard the big ball that's kind of rainbow shiny? Yes, the hard thing. That's the hard thing. That's where they munch up stuff. Yeah, you're supposed to cut it open and then take the gunk out and cook it. So I'll be trying that next time, but you guys gotta share how you do that as well. um, Andy Rabbit says yes, the hearts too. See, I've never done that. Yeah. Yusuf said we had rain and snow mix all last week. Poultry on a budget. Hey, I got it right. Did I say that? I think I said that. Poultry on the Budget is his new Facebook group. Ed is eating, so he's listening. That's okay, Ed. Hey, Jennifer's here. Welcome. Hello, all from Tennessee. I got a quail egg, 27 grams, double yolk. We might outdo you tonight. I haven't weighed it yet. We're doing it all together. But yeah, double yolkers are, I mean, I welcome them. I think they look painful, especially this one that I have. But yeah. Andy Rabbit says bread and fry in oil is how I eat them. Gizzards. Well, gizzards or hearts or both. Yeah. Okay. And Base Play says fry them in the frying pan, then make gravy and put it over rice or biscuits. Ooh, biscuits. Biscuits and gravy is so good when the gravy is actually good. I went and visited my parents. It was a while ago now, but we went out I think 2 or 3 times during that time, and I'm like, I want biscuits and gravy because I never get it because it's not that great for you. But I'm like, we're on vacation, and man, one place to put like onions, a whole bunch of onions in it, and no pepper. Like black pepper is the gravy part of that. Anyway, yeah, good suggestion. Everybody saying hi. Andy Rabbit says, "Oh dang, are we supposed to cut them open first? Is that where they are so gritty?" I hope you're just loud. Yeah, you said just joking. Yes, that's where the grit goes when you give them grit. is in the gizzard. Yeah, that would not be good. Vaseplay says, yes, Andy, LOL. Cut them open and clean out the feed. Aaron says, okay, guys, now I'm hungry. All right, that's good. It's all right. Hey, the Steve B3, 33. Welcome. It says, I bought some local eggs. They were supposed to be jumbos. They were not. 3 hatches and none were over 275 grams. Not laying now. Oh, they're molting. 3 groups of 5, debating on just calling them, but feel bad. Ideas. So you're looking for breeders, I'm guessing? You're looking for breeders? If you are looking for jumbos for meat, then I would start. I don't know what 275 grams is. 10 ounces at 10 weeks is considered jumbo. I don't know what that translates to in grams. If you want jumbos for meat production, then I would start with larger birds. I recommend My Shire Farm. They have good big birds that are healthy and really good for that. If you are looking for egg production, the smaller ones can actually produce more eggs, depending on the line. So depending on the line and depending on how it's going, but they will eat less. And so you could, I don't know what your plans are, if you're growing only for yourself or if you're growing for other people as well or to sell, but you could keep them as egg layers, considering if you have, females. You could keep them as egg layers and they will cost you less in feed to make each egg, if that makes sense. I would keep them separate from your jumbos if you do get jumbos. So that would be it. You can eat any size quail. So I would not say it's a waste to eat them. I would maybe, if you're going to get jumbos, I would get jumbos, get them going, maybe get them to egg laying age, and then cull these ones. That way you're not out of eggs in the meantime. So that's what I would do. Another thing you could do as well is you can try selling them. If they're of laying age, you can sell them. Now, right now, if they're molting, get them through the molt or choose not to, and you can cull them. So that's going to be a personal decision. But like, hopefully that gives you a little bit of options. If I know what your goal is, that might be a little, we can go through that a little better. All right. Yusuf says, I'm hatching out a little more quails and ordered baby pullets for season 45 pops. I don't know what that last part means, but yeah, you're getting back into the quail, and I am glad that you're doing it. That's awesome. Right underneath you guys is my incubator full of eggs. I started that, I don't remember what day. They've been in there a couple days. So I started that, and we're going to have more. So it's good. Andy Rabbit says, no, I want to butcher some quail, gizzard, and heart dinner. Oh, now I want to butcher some quail and gizzard heart dinner. All right. Vase Place says, hey, Steve. Oh, to the Steve B333. Andy Rabbit says, I got another 19.4 gram egg today. These ladies, I mean, it's a surprise how big they can push things out. It really is. I have one in my jumbo aviary that nearly every day, if not every day, I think nearly every day, she gives me a double yolker. I'm sure it's the same one. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Vase Place says, so her birds are all just barely over 9 ounce. I don't know who her is. Okay. Andy Rabbit says, I eat standard size quail and I only pick out the smallest ones out of them. Okay, so you're selecting for the larger standard sizes. Is that what's going on? Yeah. Oh, 45 chicks. Got it, Yusuf. Ed Got Bait says, the 1 day olds don't have much meat on them, but you can use them as feeders for reptiles. So I have a plan to potentially do some reptile feeder things. So I'm working on that. We'll see how it pans out. Hopefully good. They made you hungry, Don says. Yeah. Ed Got Bait says, I like chicken livers deep fried. Don't like the gizzards. They're too tough. Okay. I am not a liver fan. I've never had it fresh though, and I don't think I've had it in years. That's not true. I had duck liver at a fancy restaurant. We had a gift card. Went to this Michelin star restaurant and I like duck when it's cooked well. Duck could be cooked well and not well, but they had like some sort of liver pate thing that was just not good. The other stuff was good, but it was so funny because on my plate there was one piece of miner's lettuce, which is basically a weed in my yard that I think I need to, start selling. It's high in vitamin C, very nutritious. It tastes good, but it was just so funny because one piece. Yeah. Yep. Andy Rabbit says they did make you hungry, and I just finished eating. Oh, okay. So Vase Place said the one that gave 275 gram birds is 9 ounces. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's close. It's not really that close, but especially if they're molting age already, then that's actually pretty small, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I would keep them for eggs until you have your jumbos going, and then once your jumbos are going and laying, then I would process them. That's what I would do. Yeah. And it's not a waste. It's not a waste because you're using them. Yeah. Lucy wants out. Okay. Looks like you're back. Dawn says, I finished eating about an hour ago. Okay. I haven't eaten yet. I'm having leftover chili. There will be a video eventually on that, making the chili. And let's see. Taco Bell. Andy Rabbit. Taco Bell. Andy Rabbit says, I like rabbit liver, but I don't care for chicken liver. Quail liver is okay. Okay, I would like to know the difference because I've never tried rabbit liver. The chickens eat the rabbit livers. I just give them all the guts. So describe to me how they're different, if they're different. Because the only one I've had, whatever they sell in the store that's liver, I don't even know what kind of liver that is. And then when I was a kid. And then I've had duck liver. So, or liver pate. Yeah. Fall. Oh yeah, you're not gonna go out yourself. You don't need to risk black ice. Black ice is no good. No good at all. You don't need to fall. Feather Connection says, I always learn so much from you. I'm heading to bed early because just exhausted. Oh my gosh. Okay. Feather Connections. Kelly, are you still on? We're going to do this thing. We're going to do our measurements. Okay. Before I show you, I got to get my scale all set up. All right. Here is a massive egg. Look how huge that is. So usually when you get double yolkers, which this is at least a double yolker, there's big ones, you usually have a line in the middle that if you candle it, you'll see there's usually a lot of cracks there. This doesn't have that. This is like a full egg. So I'm going to set up my scale here. That is a huge egg. I know. Is the bird okay? Nobody's dead. Nobody's bleeding. All right. So I have my little thing set up here. You guys can't really see, but I'll put this in here. And oh, this is not that. Okay, so 50, 40. So that's 50. It's about 40, a little less than 40 grams. This goes by tens, tens of grams. Little less than 40 grams. Little less than 40 grams. I wish I had a more, I mean, it's one of these scales. It's one of those deals. But it's more than 30, less than 40. So that is huge. That is huge. Let me see what you guys say. Kelly's still here. Oh, I have to try rabbit liver at least once. It's not as strong. Okay. I will try it in about a month. That is huge. Look at this. Look at that. Let's see. Your poor quail thinks it's a chicken. Hopefully it's the same one that had the double yolkers. That's the only way that this is going to come out of a girl, she's already stretched out. It had to hurt. How many ounces is that? So it's just under 40 ounces. I don't have like an electric scale. I don't have that, but yeah. 1.4. No. 40. Yeah. Let's see. Now what is inside that monster? That's what we're going to find out. So I want to show you guys just for reference. What do you guys think? I need a vote. Oh, geez. Andy Rabbit. Did that 10-pound quail lay one? Maybe she heard me. I'm not going to hatch it. No. Okay. Open it. Okay. Two options. One, either this way, or I have a serrated knife. I need a vote. What do you guys want to do? I'm not going to hatch it. I've tried hatching double yolkers and it didn't work. Try the small end. Knife is one vote. Open with scissors. Okay, I need a tiebreaker. Somebody say something. Scissors. Okay. We're going with scissors. Scissors from the pointy end. Okay, well, it's not that much more pointy, but it's pointy. Let's see. I'm going to put some ads on my computer so I can open it over that, just in case it spills. Okay, scissors. You bet egg inside of an egg, Vase Place says. Any other bets? All right, we're going to cut it. Take that tiny off. It is an egg inside of an egg. Verna got it. Oh my gosh, how am I going to show you guys this? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, I'm going to take a picture of it. It'll be in the next week in review, along with the background of the ads. And maybe. All right, it is an egg in an egg. That was not proper planning. No, it was not proper planning. I'm okay with it though. All right, here we go. I'm going to pour it out into this bowl. I can't see what I'm doing. And there's an egg in there, guys. Look at that. Oh, that's how I can show you. There is an egg in there. How crazy is that? Okay. Knife time. I need like a little stand. Open the other eggshell. I've never seen this either. The only person I heard about this from is Verna. So I'm going to cut it in half. You guys are just going to have to trust me because can't put that on my. Oh. All right. All right. I have a bowl underneath me. Let's see if I can show you guys. So there is an egg inside, which I actually cut. There is a yolk on the other side of that egg. All right. And then this is what's inside that. And it looks pretty funky. I cut that. Let's like maybe clear some of this. It looks like this part's still soft, so I'm wondering if that was up against the edge. This looks nasty, I know. But there is another yolk in there. So I'm trying to just pull this open. Are you guys glad you showed up today? And there's another yolk. So that is a weird egg. I think it must have been along the side, along the edge. Weird, right? Okay, my pants just have egg on it now. There you go. Yeah, I'm glad I waited to show you guys that because I have never seen that in my life. And it's too bad Manuel's not here. He's going to have to watch this over again. Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. So, Kelly, aren't you glad you stayed for that one? All right, let's go up and see what you guys said. Yeah, pretty interesting. Okay. You got a bowl. Yes, I do. Aaron says, Verna, my last huge one was like that with the double egg. That's so weird. I don't know how that works, especially like it was a double yolker, but the other yolk had a shell. It was weird. Verna, was your one that did that? Did it also have another yolk in it, or was it just an egg in an egg? Because that one had an egg with a yolk in it, and then it had a shelled egg with another yolk. Yeah. Okay. Get a bowl and show. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know that I can tilt it. I kind of already showed you guys. I don't think I can. Yeah, I can't do that. Feather Connections. No way. What's she win? What did she win? I don't know. She's a winner. Crazy. I've never seen one of those. So crazy. How much does the second egg weigh? Oh, I didn't weigh it separately. It looked like a regular, like a smaller kind of egg. It's not that much different. It's smaller than a regular. So I have a, let's see. Here's kind of a smallish egg. Like how I guess I have props. Let me put my paper back. All right, so this is kind of a smallish egg. And then this was the shell for that. So it's about the same as a regular egg. It just has a flat top. It's kind of weird. It has a flat top, and then it had this other little, like, almost like, you know how some snails close up? It had that on the outside. Oops, good thing I had my paper down. Yeah, super weird. Super weird. All right. And I did not weigh the second egg before. And if I had a more accurate scale, then it would be, you know, a better story. But I don't. I did not get a scale expecting to weigh eggs. Let's see. So crazy. I had one like that, Dawn says. Great question, Andy. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was probably about the same as a normal egg. Yep, 2 complete eggs. Okay, that's Verna. She had 2 complete eggs. 40 grams cannot be 18 grams is big for quail. Well, we will look and see what a regular. So this one will weigh this one. And this one is less than 20. So this one's less than 20. Like I said, here's the one I'm using. There's the one I'm using. It was more than 30, less than 40. So there you go. Yeah. Anyway, it's huge. Dawn says I got mine like that from a new layer. She laid double yolkers a couple times, missed a day laying, then came the egg with an egg. Wow. Both were complete eggs, Vase Place says. Hey, Steve's here. Greetings from Mississippi. Got my 2 likes in. Welcome. Hopefully you got all our double egg stuff in. Dawn says mine was egg shell yolk inside another egg with a yolk too. Nature is strange, Ed Got Bait says. Yes. I have a friend whose wife also quoted or made her own quote of nature's gross. So that is also true. Take a picture in the bowl too. Okay. I'll put the shell in the bowl. Let's see. And then also this was laid earlier in the week, so if there wasn't any evaporation that happened, then that I mean it wouldn't be much, but then that would be there. Let's see. Freezer says what time in California and MA is that Massachusetts? I don't know. It's 9:36 right now. It is 6:38. Okay, Vase Place. I will send you that. Andy says get an herb scale. That's what I like to use. That's a good idea. Thank you for answering, Steve. I have not gotten a 2-in-1 egg yet. Andy Rabbit says I never have either. Like this is the first one. Yeah, this is the first one. I see. Thanks. Oh, the time. Yes. I don't remember where you are, Yusuf. What time? You said you're 9 something. You must be on Eastern time. Oh, MA is where you are. That's Massachusetts. Yeah. After I got the egg with an egg, I never got another or double yolker one again, Dawn says. Interesting. I'll be watching out for a double yolker. Actually, I think she already did that. I don't know. Well, I'll pay attention. Vase Place says I never got a 2-in-1 since, but I have had hens that have laid double yolks. Freezer asks, what's all the types of animals you have? So I have quail, and I have one aviary that is just quail, and that's mostly standard size. There's some jumbo in there. It's a barnyard mix. I am going to be replacing that aviary with also standard, but one of the new colors from my Shire farm is Egyptian Fee, and so that's going to be what that aviary will be in a little bit. And then the other aviary, I coined the term raviary because rabbits over quail. So I don't know if you guys have heard of Joel Salatin's Rackin' House, but that's rabbits over chickens. So I also have rabbits over quail. Now for that, I use a aviary netting underneath the rabbit hutches so that any quail that jump don't break their necks. And they coexist pretty good. Not coexist, but their space is far enough away, and I churn in the manure and all of that into deep litter, and it works great. So I have that, and then I have, like I said, the Rackin' House, which is rabbits over chickens. So I have 3 chickens, which really are just pets that poop breakfast. And I got those chickens before I got the quail. Before? I think it was before. I don't remember. I got them pretty close succession. But they are really great girls. They make me compost and all that. And then, of course, the meat rabbits. And I have worms for my worm bin. So that is going on. And there's fish in the pond that they're just for mosquito control. But I dug a pond and there's fish in there too. So those are the animals that I have. That's it. There is a cat that has claimed my yard. Not mine. Don't feed it. But he loves pets. So yeah. Andy Rabbit says, Dawn, I bet it hurt that poor girl too much. She decided to lay normal after that. Could be a little calm down thing. Oh, Yusuf said I had triple yolk once. I had that happen once and only once. It's amazing, right? Steve says most of my largest eggs are just plain eggs, a few double yolks. Hate cracking them all. I could be making just large egg layers. You could candle and see where the yolk is too. My hot chocolate's no longer hot. It's warm. Yeah, you should be able to see, like, if you move it around, unless it has a super dark shell, you should be able to see where the yolk is on those. Oh, well, the hen's not me, Steve. I think we understood that. Andy Rabbit says I got a few 19 something and 20.6. They were double yolk. Well, maybe I'll put this in the refrigerator in a bag and get a scale that does the mini parts, and maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll reweigh it. Yeah. Let's see. Andy Rabbit says, Freezer, that's cool about your triple yolk. Yeah. Dawn says, Andy Rabbit, it could be. I thought her body straightened out after that. Like it was kind of a signal. A little bit of a chiropractic adjustment, huh? Yusuf says, all right, I'm out to do some chores and sleep. Have a good night day, Katrina and everyone. Thank you for joining us, Yusuf, and I appreciate you coming and asking questions. It's awesome. Don says, interesting, me either. One time is all they needed. Huh, I guess to straighten out and lay right. There may be something chiropractic going on with that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know any chiropractors for quail. Everybody's saying good night. And thanks you. Peace. Good night, Yusuf. Vaseplay says, I had something strange when culling my old birds. One hen had 4 eggs in a sack off to the side and an egg she was about to ready to lay. Interesting. So they were like ready to come out, but then they didn't. That is very interesting. Yeah. I always think it's interesting when you find the eggs that are unlaid. I actually have a video of that. I don't remember what they call it. When it doesn't have a shell, not even a soft shell yet. Ehrlich, something like that. Anyway, if you search my channel on the Cook With Me, then that is the, I have a video in there. You can search unlaid eggs, I think. Yeah. They said that sack was leathery. Interesting. Andy Rabbit says, did they all have shells on them, Verna? Yeah, fully developed eggs. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of eggs to be inside of her. That's a lot of eggs. Wow. A lot of her own leather purse. Wow. Yeah, I haven't found anything like totally abnormal when processing birds. This last time I processed a bunch of males that, again, I processed in the wintertime, and their testes were only like that big. So that was just interesting. I had forgotten how small they could be, even when they're adults, but they don't get the light to send those signals. And I have had eggs in birds that I process that are female. So yeah, but I haven't come upon any oddities yet. So that's, I guess, a good thing. Yeah. Yeah. So what other egg stories do you guys have? You have any eggs that we got shelled eggs. That's the first time I've gotten one. I might bag it up and if it weighs, I'll maybe see what the weight is exactly, because like I said, this scale is not, it doesn't have the increments to be accurate. And yeah, maybe I'll do that. We'll see. Might get a different number. Vaseplay says, yeah, the ones that are not dominant usually have very small testes. The dominant roos will have testes the size of eggs. Yeah, there's when I process in the summer, it's definitely a different story. I mean, they're like that big. First time you do that, you're like, what's this? Oh, that's what that is. Yeah. So yeah, well, there's my topic of the night. And I've never had that happen before. Yeah, pretty cool. I would like to know how that happens, because I thought the shell, the outer shell, was the last thing to form, because when you process a female, she can have a smaller, like she can have an egg that it has the membrane but not the shell yet. So I'm wondering like how the shell actually forms when it's inside another shell. I have no idea. Yeah. Baseplay says, that was fun, Katrina. See why I waited? I knew you guys would be interested. Yeah. Andy Rabbit says, I had a regular egg color hen. Regular egg color? Okay. Oh, had a celadon egg frozen to her chest last freeze. So she's sitting on somebody else's egg. Is that what you're saying? Wow. I mean, they kind of see an egg and wander over to it and plop down. Wow. Steve says, is the shell a time thing to harden and calcify? I'm sure there is part of that. I don't know it well enough. Yeah. Vaseplay says, Katrina, the smaller egg did not move down the tube. The second egg just developed around it. Right. That could be. The only thing is with this is that it was an egg that the shape, I lost my paper. The the shape of the actual egg is that. So the top is flat. I thought I had cut it, but really it had this little cap on it. It's kind of like when a snail closes up, that kind of cap. But yeah, interesting no matter what. I think the egg formed and didn't move. Oh, Don said that. Yeah. Okay. Great minds think alike. I thought I read one of yours and then I read the other one. Yeah, you guys said the same thing. It must have done that. It's very interesting. Don says they place. Oh, it said the same thing. Great minds think alike. GMTA. Vase Place loves acronyms. You gotta learn them. Right, Verna? Verna says, when it happened to me, they both were perfect eggs in every way. Yeah. This definitely was like, it's a flat thing. It's interesting. Like a soft shell cap. Yeah, true. That's exactly what it was, Diana. It's not it's harder, but it's not the hardness of a shell. Interesting. Don's laughing. Old Acros, LOL from Guide Days. I don't know what that means, Verna. So anyway, so that was the entertainment of the night. I hope you liked it. We've now been talking about it for like 20 minutes. I don't know how long it took me to open it. Yeah, so there you go with that. Oh, acronyms. Abbreviation acronyms, huh? Oh boy. So, the first hen I butchered, an egg fell out in my hand, Andy Rabbit. Yeah, the first time I had, because the first time I butchered, I don't think I had any fully formed eggs. And so I think it was like the second or third time I butchered that I had the fully formed eggs with like a shell. And I was feeling things and I cut with scissors and I'm like, what is that? There was like a hard thing and it moved. And I'm like, what is that? And it was the egg. So yeah. Vernon needs coffee. Andy says, I wonder if the egg would or could have hatched. I don't know. There are people that have hatched double yolkers. I tried this last batch. I didn't tell anybody I was doing it, but I did, and none of them hatched. So, from what I know, it's not all that successful, but it can be successful. And either you'll end up with Siamese twins or you'll end up with two separate birds. Like, I mean, unattached birds. So I don't know. I wanted to try it just to see, but didn't want to hatch it at time. Yeah, Andy Rabbit. Yeah, I was like, I always hadn't, and I'm like, I'm just gonna try it. I tried that. I tried some that were round. I tried the ones that you don't usually select, just to see, and none of the ones that weren't gonna hatch hatched. So from now on, I'm not gonna use those types of eggs. The egg fell out in your hand. Oh, S.O. Swanson. Are we allowed to say didn't want to hatch? Well, I think it's didn't want to hatch it and get something that you have to deal with later. Because if it's something like a Siamese twin that is joined at some weird place, it could be a suffering issue. So you could say that. One egg, yes, that's okay. One egg, but not to all eggs. Is that what you're saying? You can only say it to one egg at a time? To Steve? Yeah, I think so. So who else has eggs in the incubator right now? Anybody? Anybody have eggs in the incubator? I want to see if my birds are going to have some hatchmates. Some hatch cousins. Oh, Aaron says, Steve, I don't think that's allowed. Those words are offensive to me. Oh, gosh. Base plates, but if you tried to hatch that big of an egg, Yeah, tonight would not hatch the inner egg. I don't know. It's not going to happen now. Nothing in your incubator, Steve? Just took it back from the chicken guy, but you loaned it out. Clean it really good if you loaned it out, especially with all the stuff going on right now. Clean it with your gold Listerine, half that and half water. And I would actually, if you loaned it to a chicken person, if you loaned it out and for hatching, I would set it in the sun for a little bit because the sun is going to do some sanitary things after the alcohol even. That's my advice. Aaron says, I have a batch hatching as we speak and and more in the incubator. That's right, because you have a hatcher and an incubator, right? Good job. Good job. Andy Rabbit has eggs in the incubator, waiting on eggs. Oh, Vase Place ordered eggs. Yeah, I ordered eggs. I asked Zach to send me them the week of the 20th because that's when these guys will be out and like starting. So my plan is to grow these out up to 3 weeks in there. And then I can, by that time, new ones can go in. So yeah, that's my plan. Let's see. Lockdown is the 4th. All right, Saturday. Vaseway says, Andy and Katrina, good luck and happy hatching. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. This is probably, maybe, probably not. I'm going to revise my sentence because my sentence sucked. This is going to be the last batch from this aviary that might survive. So I'm going to be processing them, part of them for reptile feeders and part of them for different ages for that. And then whatever's left over we'll eat. So it's not going to be for breeders. And then I might do that again before the jumbos are, not jumbos, before the Egyptian fees are mature. Yeah. Aaron says, I'll be hatching a batch of 120 to 250 out every week, at least until July. Wow, you are a booming business. That is so awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. Vase Place, my choke chain will be here sometimes Friday, so butchering will be this weekend. Okay, so she's talking about her kui or KV or guinea pigs. Good luck doing that. I'm hoping someone's there to either help you or support you or hand you things, because I've never done that species. So I hope that, I know you're going to prepare yourself as much as you can, but I hope it goes well and smoothly and quickly. Yeah. Vase Place says, wow, Aaron. Yeah, wow. Aaron says he has a few hundred male quail to butcher this weekend. Wow. Andy Rabbit says, I candle last night and looks like 10 will not go into lockdown so far. Yeah. That's actually really, I don't know how many you have, but I candled the first time I hatched, I candled and, only put in the stuff that was developed. But ever since then, I've just put them in because if they're not going to hatch, they're not going to hatch. And in my mind, as long as it's not going to explode, it provides a little bit of stability for heat. That's my thoughts. I don't know. So I've just decided that whatever's in there is in there. I think the only time I would candle is if I'm working with balutes, which I have not done yet. Because really, once you've gone through that process, they're either going to live or not. They're either have the potential or they don't have the potential. So I don't bother with it. Hope everyone helps Aaron. The butcher? Yeah. No one will be here. I do better alone. Okay. If you do better alone, then that's good. Oh, Andy Rabbit's going to help Aaron eat them. Oh, boy. Aaron has Lane. Yep, he has Lane and Christina. So hopefully everybody will helping. Aaron says, exciting news for me. I dipped my toe into the Asian market for egg and balut sales. I'm hoping it takes off so I can increase my numbers as my customer base grows. That is awesome. Yeah, that is awesome news. Everybody's congratulating you. That's awesome news. I really hope that goes well for you. Yeah. Did you have to go into a different area, like location wise, like distance from yourself to get to the clientele, or was that already within your space that you're doing, your like drive range? That's awesome. Andy Rabbit says 30 shipped eggs and the power went out one night, but I don't know how long it was. I was wondering if it killed them or not. And you have 20 of those going into lockdown. I think that's wonderful. Yeah, I think that's good. Aaron says everyone helps on Butcher Day. Andy, I cook a lot, so come eat. Did you just invite all of us? Is that what I heard? I think I heard that. Vase Place says, Andy, you won't know until day 22. Yeah, how many hatch? Yeah. But if the power outage was early, it might have been okay, but if it's later, it might not. We'll see. You'll see. Keep the faith, Andy. May delay by a day, though it should still be good. That's a good point, Steve. That if the power went out, you may have to do it may have delayed 1 or 2 days. That's a good point to give them a couple extra days to hatch. Yeah, it's true. Dawn says, congratulations, Aaron. I do only Asian market and they get all my eggs. Dawn, you're killing it. That is good. That is good. Andy's coming over for dinner, Aaron. Yeah, that is awesome. Vase Place says you should try a few balutes yourself so you can understand what they are looking for. I agree. If you're going to sell it, you should try it and maybe have someone show you how to, like, if you have customers that know how to prepare it, you can say, hey, I'll give you this many extra if you show me how you do it, or what good dipping sauces are good with it, or stuff like that. I think that'd be good. Steve says, Andy, my house is on the way from your house to Aaron's. Swing by and pick me up. I'll be your +1. Aaron says, I stumbled onto it from a guy looking to buy laying chickens. Sadly, no one wanted to deal with him. Oh, because he's Asian. That sucks. He bought chickens over the weekend and came back today to talk about quail eggs. I guess I'm lucky to live in the Bay Area where we have such a diverse people, and there is, some stuff that happens racially, but it seems like there are other parts of the country that are much more kind of not with the times. Yeah. But hopefully you make a friendship out of it and have a customer out of it. It'd be good. Dawn says, question, when collecting eggs to hatch, if they lay in a 34 to 40 degree cage, is that too cold to hatch after? My understanding is as long as it doesn't freeze, then it's okay. That's my understanding. Try it and let us know how it goes. I would definitely recommend that you collect them as soon as you can. Like if you're going to collect them for doing that specifically, maybe go out there several times, in the afternoon into the evening, when yours lay, and try and get them, sooner the better. But my understanding is that as long as they don't freeze, but that's again my only understanding. Andy Rabbit says, well, I candle the next day and last night there is a difference in the darkness of the eggs, so I'm hopeful. That's good. That means they're growing. That's good. Aaron says, Andy just headed off to the Gulf of Mexico. I'm 3 miles from it. I think you're just going to need more directions than that, Aaron. Yeah, so Vern is saying the same thing. As long as they don't freeze, they should be safe. But I still would collect them. Don't wait until the end of the night. I would go out and collect them as it's happening. Andy Rabbit says the temps was in the 30s during shipping of these eggs. Yeah. So shipping might be a little bit different because they do have, usually they have the packing material, which is a lot of insulation. So I don't know what temperature actually gets where the egg is. It may or may not be different. I don't know. Dawn says Aaron, I sold to one Asian waitress in a tiny restaurant in one city. Next thing I knew, she told others, even in another city, who own other Asian restaurants. They are all family or know each other. That is amazing. The restaurants locally, most of them that are Asian restaurants, most of them, they want big eggs. That's what they told me. They don't want quail eggs. They want big eggs. There's one guy who goes up to San Jose and gets them for $2 a dozen. $2 a dozen? $4 a dozen? I think it was $2 a dozen. And so it's like, I can't do that. So there's a couple places that do, that are interested, but they're most of them, they want big eggs. They want chicken eggs. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I should go back to those and say, well, chicken eggs are doing some different things now. I don't know. As those ones that said, I had successful hatching during those cold temps. I had 60% hatch, and I know some froze. Okay. Do you know which ones froze? Did you have any freeze that hatched? Just a question. I mean, people freeze their eggs, right, and have successful children from them later on. Manuel just walked in. You missed it. We opened up this egg, and there was another egg inside.
Yeah?
Yeah, with a shell. You can watch it later or look at it right here. All right. Diana says, I've had some eggs that were like in 30 to 20 degrees and have hatched fine. Awesome. Andy says, Steve, that's not far from my dad's. Dawn, thank you, Steve. Like I just collected 1 hour ago and just came in with 8 more eggs now, and they are cold. Well, put them into set. Yeah, try it. Let us know how it goes. Aaron says we've hatched quail eggs that were in the refrigerator before. I have heard of people, refrigerators not like freezing though. I mean, sometimes close to freezing. I have heard of people hatching them from the grocery store, which has them in the refrigerator. So, yeah. Dawn says, I am not selling to the restaurants, but for their personal use, and they take them home to the big families. Awesome. Vase Place says, some people do not tell the truth all the time, Katrina. What are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about. Okay. Aaron says, Dawn, that's what I'm hoping for. He was excited, and that I also have ducks, so I can offer those as well. Awesome. Steve says, remember that the Asian staff would be as interested in the owner as restaurant. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Vase Place says, Aaron, duck balut is what they want as well. Yeah, I think quail might be a little bit more unknown in certain parts, depending on where you are, just because it's more unavailable generally. Aaron, they really like duck. Can't spell it, but balut. Oh, they really like duck balut. Yeah. Dawn says you'll be amazed at what they do. My hubby was chased down to the bathroom at a gas station from a Chinese lady from another city. Goodness. Refrigerators are supposed to be 35 to 40 degrees. Yes. But sometimes they can be less than 35 and they can be on the side of freezing. So I've seen refrigerators in grocery stores that looked like they had, like ice on them. So yeah. Dawn, that's a great problem. Yes. Dawn says, oh, I can't set eggs to put babies outside now. It's 20 degrees. We won't be above 40 till mid and March. I think as long as they're fully feathered, they should be able to do that fine. Because if they have a windbreak, I think yours have windbreaks too, right? They're 4 weeks old or so. Yeah, I know people do it. Oh, the truth, the $2 a dozen, truth or not truth. They sell them there. They do sell some at. There is a local Mexican store that has them 10 for like 250 or two. It's two something. It's less than $3. But they're tiny. I mean, they're small compared to the ones that I have. So that is something that it might be accurate. If some, I know that there was someone who was looking to buy quail from me to eat, and she was going to kill herself, and she didn't like my price. She's like, "Ah, that's too high." And then she found someone in Sacramento that would sell her adults for $2 each, and she just asked me the other day if I had quail. So I kind of think that maybe she found like, well, I know it was one of those big wholesale places, because she said that she went there and there was like tons and tons of birds. What I think probably happened is that they sold her ones that they were getting rid of breeders. That's what I think happened, and so they probably weren't as tender, and they were probably older birds, and that's what I think happened. And of course, that big they can afford, to have bulk deliveries of feed, whereas I can't afford that. I don't have room to store it, but they definitely, they probably have a whole facility just for feed, right? Yeah. So yeah, there we go. Base Place says the one that states they got $2 a dozen. I'm thinking that it might be accurate, if it's wholesale, if it's a restaurant wholesale kind of a thing. But the size of them, I don't think is going to be big. Like I said, I did see they're less than $3 for 10, not for a dozen, where I saw it. Yeah. Base, good point. I forgot that. What did you forget? Oh, refrigerators. Yeah. Aaron says he told me quail balut is better because it's cheaper than duck balut. So basically, they can buy more at a time. That's true. You can see that. They think of quail balut as candy. Well, aren't they? I haven't had it, but hey. Steve says, I put mine out at 40 degrees during the night at 2 weeks old with a heat lamp. They did fine. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Yeah. Eddie Rabbit says, why is my phone will put Aaron's name at the top bar until I'm going to type it? I don't know. Dawn says, I keep them inside the house. After 2 weeks, I'm allergic to them. Oh, because of the dander? I don't know if it's actually dander, but the dust. I do have heated cages, but if we open the door to service them, they get a blast of freezing air. Yeah, you would want to check them and do all of their stuff in the daytime then. Yeah. We just got a filter, like an air filter for the house, and I'm pretty impressed with it right now. Because we do have some 8-week-old quail in there. They're ready to go out or be processed in the brooder still. I'm a big brooder. And it definitely cut down on that. So I'm going to use it for, a few more hatches before I make any recommendations. But it has a filter that is cleanable, you don't have to pay to get another filter and do that. So yeah, we'll go from there. Let's see. Don says, I don't think I can sell balut without a license. Yeah, it depends on your state. I know with my state in California, balut is covered under your small egg handler license. And that you have to have fertile, what I say? I don't know, fertile egg or live fetus or something like that. You have to have it on the actual carton. on the packing. And so just make sure that you're doing things where, how you're supposed to do them for your state, and the labeling as well. Base Place says, Dawn, if they come to your place to pick them up, you should be fine. I don't know how the rules are for all the places, so I'm not going to comment on that. Steve says, I have a guy here that advertises for half what I sell for, though they never respond to emails or Facebook messages, so I'm not concerned with the competition. Yeah. And customer service is going to be valuable, which is good. Don says they should come to the house, but they don't. Maybe you have a different price for pickup, or you charge for delivery too. I mean, I think you were looking at doing things differently to save money or to get more money. And that would be one thing, is to have a delivery charge. Assume all sales are pickup. And you might not be able to do that for existing customers. You can do that for customers, along the line, especially if you're in town. Yeah. Yeah. Andy Rabbit says, I have some 6 weeks old outside and I just can't remove their light more just because I'm scared. It keeps freezing. They are used to the heat. I have too much investment in them to kill them now. Yeah, so removing the heat would have to be a gradual process for sure. I don't know how you have it set in there. If you can get it on the outside and maybe like move it further and further away. Yeah. Base Place says, oh, but if you have an air purifier in a room full of quail, it will burn out before 9 months. So yeah, so this is something that doesn't have a filter, and keep cleaning, and we'll see. Like I said, I'm not recommending anything right now, but I thought I'd try it, and it's working so far. But yeah, I don't know how long it will work. Let's see. Andy Rabbit says, I just need 1 week of warm weather for them. Yeah. Well, it'll get there. Don't know when, but it will get there. Base Place says, Andy, you will need to wean them off that heat at that age. They will die of shock if you lose power. Yeah, that is a good point. That is definitely a good point. I would try and move it further away if you're able to. I don't know what your setup looks like, but if you're able to, I'd move it further away. S.O. Swanson says, Andy, start by removing the light in the day. That's a good suggestion. Then you can gradually reduce it by an hour a day till they're weaned off of it. That's a great solution, Steve. And Aaron says, Steve, most of my local competitors can't keep up with me. They try to get my bulk buyer customers to switch over to them, but I have loyal customers. Yeah, and it sounds like you're doing things pretty much like all the time. So you always have little ones, you always have medium, ones, you always have big ones. So I think you have a pretty good schedule set up. So I think that is something that's reliable, and people appreciate reliable, especially in these days. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's what you're afraid of, Andy. Yeah. Dawn says, if you can reduce the temp down, they will be fine. If you have them like at 34 and power goes out, they can go down another 20 degrees with no trouble. That's how I decreased mine. Okay. How I deal with the whole brooder situation is, the brooder is in the spare bedroom, and when they're little, through at least 2 weeks, I have that door open. The rest of the house, the heater is in one location in the house, so it's not like I have vents in every room. So I heat that room, and then at about 2 weeks, maybe a couple days after, I take off the heat plates, because I use the plates instead of the lights, but still keep the heater on. And then at 3 weeks old, or just before 3 weeks old, I'll start opening the window, cracking the window open at night, and then it'll go to a full window open, usually by the end of 3 weeks, and closing off the door from the rest of the house. And that's how I wean them from the heat, and it's been working. So yeah. Base Place says, Andy, do just like you are supposed to do when they're in the brooder, move the light away from them a little distance every day. Yeah. Oh, you have been turning it off during the day. That is until today. They can handle the cold. People raise them in Alaska. True. It's just a shock that they have to get through. So yeah. You'll get to it. You have to. I mean, if you want to stay the night out there and see that they're fine. If they're fully feathered and they're good to go, let them be good to go. They do need to wean though. So yeah. All right, guys, it is 7:20. So I think it might be time to hang up. Oh, but we're going to answer what Dawn says. I'm not talking brooder, had 2.5-week-olds outside at 78 degrees and the heater coil went out. They were fine, and I started decreasing on all cages by 10 degrees AM and 10 more evening. Interesting. Toughen up. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think I'm going to say goodnight and have some leftover chili for dinner. And it was good talking with you guys. I'm going to maybe save this. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't dry out now that it's outside of the egg. But I might reweigh it. I might try and get a more accurate scale. I didn't realize that it was like that. But I will definitely, if I reweigh it, I will put it in the comments of this video, and then we will know and go from there. It was huge though. It was huge. All right. So let's see. Andy Rabbit says, I did put the water bowl under the second light to keep them freezing. Well, that's a good idea. Yeah. All right. Everybody saying good night. Good night. It's me and not them. Andy, you're doing okay. You're doing okay. Thank you for watching, and I hope everybody enjoyed this. I think I hope people had a kick opening up that egg and see why I didn't open it on the camera for the weekend review. Wasn't it more fun to see it in person on a live? Well, not in person, but in person through the camera. All right. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the evening. If I weigh this again, and I'll put the weight in the comments, and we'll go from there. Have a great night, guys.